Right, let's get there. Hello peoples, hello. Welcome to my live M1 reaction video. I'm looking forward to this. I've got a special guest possibly. I've got lots of interesting comments, which is great, coming from Twitter and coming through live as well, and from Facebook, and I've got emails from certain authorities as well, which is really exciting about the product. So let's talk about the M1 Driver. So first thing, I've not hit M1 Driver. I was invited to the States to the launch by TaylorMade. They wanted me to go, and I wanted to go, to be honest. But I had family commitments, so I couldn't make the trip, unfortunately. I always prefer doing my reviews, if I can, in my own environment rather than theirs, because obviously there's always a certain level of, not control's not the right word, but and TaylorMade are pretty good. They like honest, good reviews. They're a good company like that. They're not afraid to, you know, they stand behind their product. They're not afraid to get people talking about their product, which is great. So unfortunately, I've not hit the product yet, but I have spoken to them today, and I've been doing lots of research on it, and I very much understand the product, and I'm excited about testing it and seeing what it can do. First things there, I've kind of found it a little strange. I mean, TaylorMade are very good, aren't they, at producing fantastic press about their product. You know, they are very good at you know, really getting us all talking about it, like I'm making this live stream and this live feed about it now. It's one of their skills. I do find it slightly painful, the old I do find the high hand touching. Woo, we got a new product and the rules of golf have not changed. They've stayed the same for the last I don't know how much years about equipment. But let's all high hand touch about the new product that, you know, it's just slightly bells and whistles, isn't it? But, you know, TaylorMade are good at bells and whistles. And why not? I mean, look at it. The product looks fantastic. I mean, one thing you can be for sure, or you can be certain of with TaylorMade, is definitely it's going to be a fantastic looking product. The other thing I think you can be really sure of from TaylorMade as well is they make very good drivers. They make drivers that do a lot of good. I can't imagine this driver not performing within the specs of what the drivers are meant to do. So I am looking forward to a testing, and I say testing in the loosest way, because I will put it through as tests, but I can kind of expect what it's going to do. And so let's talk a little bit about its design as well, and we will take some questions. This is a great tweet today from Garcia using it, and as you can see, it's got two weights on the bottom. And now we're going to come back to that picture. I've got an old R15 here, which obviously had the one track but had the two weights. Now lots of people were getting very confused with these two weights, thinking that if you put it onto the outside, and TaylorMade were peddling this a little bit, and we're saying it's more stable than having them in the middle. Well, it is probably a little bit more stable than having them in the middle, but nowhere near as stable as having one at the back. Now, you've got to admire TaylorMade for going low and forward with the CG, which they did, I think, from, was it SLDR, the first one? There might have been one before that, but I think it was SLDR, first one. Post a comment if it was a different one. And you know, I'm a big fan of that technology. They were the first really to hit that. You got to take your hats off to them for pioneering that kind of idea of pushing it low and forward, and it did reduce spin. It gave them a great marketing tool about the loft up campaign, which you had to loft up because the ball had less spin, so you had to change your launch characteristics. So they have now got, they've got the weight still at the front, one track on our M1, and then they've got the weight which now goes from front to back, which is going to allow them to move CG from back to front a little bit. The weight that is at the front going from left to right, the fade to draw one's going to try and help you dial in shape, direction, and it'll do very little with direction, subject to how you move or deliver the club. So for me, it has an effect because of my release patterns, but for lots of golfers who do fade or hook, or slice or hook, their release patterns far outweigh that little weight. But that's something certainly you should go and try and play with. And you know, if you look at the tour players, there's Garcia's one, and I've seen Dustin, I think, have it in the heel as well. Garcia maybe a little bit more towards the heel because he wants to get maybe a bit of toey jaw spin going on his drivers, that'll help with a bit of gearing, and well, people call it release through the ball, but I would do a little bit more gearing than anything else with that weight. But it's very interesting, look, the Garcia's opted to have that one at the back. So in effect, he's turning, I mean, he used R15 where CG was low and forward, so what, unless this one isn't set up for him, but this was his tweet, I presume this is his club fitted and set up and ready to go. Why is he going for the CG at the back? It seems a shame that he is moving away from that low forward CG, I guess. And then the other big thing to talk about with the club is the Ford Composite crown. I'm just going to find my spiel from TaylorMade here. So you got, I mean, companies have been making Ford Composite crowns. This is one of my favourite messages today. Let me just find it. Where is it? Oh, I haven't got it. Oh, there it is. There it is. Colin Bradley. This was on Facebook. Fantastic message. He posted a picture under this message. Old my new. That really tickled my fancy because Callaway have done this. I mean, he posted a picture of the ERC Callaway driver, which was years and years and years ago. So TaylorMade's stance on the composite is that TaylorMade have been making, I'm reading a statement from them, TaylorMade have been making titanium drivers for over 30 years and carbon composite for over 20 years. They said they had some carbon composite drivers out in the Japanese market. They do what most companies do, which I think is funny, is they say that they don't release it until it's right for them and right for the product, which you can only take their word for it. Titleist did it with the channel, didn't they? You know, Nike had a channel, then Titleist had it, and they said, well, we've had a channel for years, we've just not wanted to release it until it's absolutely perfect. What's that, 20 years of looking at carbon composite, you'd think they might have got one out there, but anyway, that's their marketing take on that. I mean, I think the main reason, as I understand it, for the multi-material top is so they can put that second sliding weight in there, because that's obviously, there's now two weights going front and back, and they're going to make the top lighter so they can really move that CG forward and back. Also allows them to move the CG lower, they're saying as well. So their response to other people making composite heads was that they've done it also for years. It does sound a little bit like, you know, those kids, I like it, you know those kids at school when you go in and go, oh, I've got those new Nike football boots, you know, the ones Diego Maradona wears, showing me age. And they go, oh yeah, I got 2 pairs of them. God. And then you go in the next day, don't you, and you go, oh, I've got that new Ferrari that Magnum PI uses, my dad bought it for me. Oh yeah, I've got 2, a green one and a red one of those, they're brilliant. All right. God, you're a good friend, aren't you? You're a great laugh. You know, a little bit like that, those statements, don't you think? It's like, oh, we've done that, we just didn't release it. Okay, so how does the composite compare to competitors? So they say we can't speak for the other people in the industry, which all the manufacturers would do that, and I think that's a wise statement. But they're very happy with their proprietary 7-layer construction, which allows it to be thin and durable and light and what have you. So they're obviously very happy with what they have done, which then backs up their, you know, that price statement about getting it right, isn't it? So why only one weight in the front track? The R15 had 2. Isn't that a step backwards? Is a question they're reacting to. Not my question. It was a question that they've sent me that they obviously are getting. By adding the rear track, golfers can add heel and toe and high and low forgiveness by moving the weight to the back position. Additionally, golfers can have the unique opportunity to the max forgiveness in a draw and then in the neutral settings and what have you. So they really are giving you not one option anymore, because there would have been people buying R15 or not buying R15 because they couldn't get it forgiven enough. The only thing I worry about is if you are someone who is not contracted to TaylorMade, like this person, Garcia, or you're not a TaylorMade fanboy, you just want a driver which has got CG low and back. I mean, you're going to struggle to beat G30 in those rounds. Having the sliding weight there for me You know, it's almost, I would prefer almost 2 drivers rather than just the one. But you know what TaylorMade like? They like to pack it all in one package. So we've also got, I had some other interesting statements today, and I'm going to take some questions in a second from everyone posting. Thanks for posting, keep posting. And we have got a phone call from someone very, very special. This was Andrew Evans earlier, M1 series, more models equals more money, more models than a catwalk, which I thought was quite a funny statement. B.O. Ho, that's a great name. Companies can bamboozle the market with tech speak. The question is, what benefits will the club give the player? And that is 100% the spot on best question anyone has asked. I think the club won't give any benefits over R15 or any of the models prior up to the rule changes that control ball speeds across the face. So ball speeds off the face are controlled, peoples, by the governing bodies. What M1 will do is it will give you and the fitter predominantly loads more fitting options in one club. So you can have a club that has weight low and forward, get your lower spin. You've got the neck sleeve as well, which is going to allow you to change the loft. Lots of people are out there saying, and they said it with this one, it really annoys me. Certainly with this one they were saying it, that the weight, having a CG low and forward gives low spin, high launch. It doesn't give high launch. You raise the loft up campaign. Come on, you're in the industry, peoples. Magazines are saying that. It drives me mental. That's not, it doesn't go higher. It's because you loft up because the spin's down. You need to launch it higher to get the right flight, to get distance. So having the weight forward and back without changing the loft sleeve, I think would change the launch minimal, but it will change the spin, which will then make you want to change the loft sleeve. So you've got your sleeve, which is going to move the loft around to launch it a little bit higher. So basically the benefits of M1, I would say, for a golfer, apart from the great jazzy looks, that black to white does look pretty sharp, is it is going to give you kind of 3 clubs in one. Other companies do this. They just have 3 clubs. They don't have one. So they put more tech, or I hate that word, tech. They just try and kind of have 3 different models within a package, or 2 different models that do both things, is where they would go. So let's have a look at what everyone's saying. I take the R15 430cc any day on the chats. More spin will cause height, David LaBelle. Yeah, it won't launch it higher though, will it? A new driver promising 10 yards more distance comes out every single year. Does that mean we'll hit 50 yards further, upgrade every 5 years? Silver 054, absolutely not. If you look at driver distances, they have plateaued on all tours for the last, I don't know how many years. So let's have a look what other people are saying. Love TaylorMade, but all the adjustments is getting silly. That is from Joshua O'Keefe. Is he coming up there? Yes, he is. Hello, Joshua. Well, I wouldn't say getting silly, but I know what you mean. It is slightly gimmicky. Okay, here's a great question, which we kind of just answered, but we'll do it again because it's a good one. I think this guy only asks good questions. I've used one of his questions before in the shows. What's the main difference between R15 and the new M1? It is that, well, it's the composite head TaylorMade are going to say, which they're very proud of. That's nothing new. Companies have been doing that for years, which allows them to move weights around and then give you 2 racks going, or rails and weights, sliding weights going front to back. That's your main difference. So basically, I think in M1 you can have a R15, but you can almost have an aero burner as well. With the higher stability, that's kind of where they are, I would say, with that. I am looking forward to testing the product. Like I said, I couldn't make the event as much as I wanted to go, and TaylorMade did invite me. For all the people out there going, oh, we didn't get invited, oh, they full out TaylorMade. Wow. It did sadden me a little bit that TaylorMade couldn't manage to retweet this one, this thing, because they're obviously a little bit worried about what might say. Come on, guys, grow up. Do you think golf club regulations will change now we can buy these kind of clubs? No, golf club regulations will not change, apart from maybe the odd like anchored putter rules, those things. I think the RNA USGA are very happy and almost not happy with ball speeds across the face. They kind of let it go almost a bit too far, I would say, but they're controlling it. Their ethos, as much as people don't like to hear this, and this doesn't win me views and it doesn't win me followers saying this, lots of people hate this because it's like telling you that Easter Bunny doesn't exist. but the RNA are purely trying to make sure that the skill of the game is not affected. Your skill is the only thing that matters, which is why these people and all the companies are limited on what they can do, which is why they play with colour. It's why they play with moving weight around to play within those tolerances. It's why they use the different materials, they make different sounds. You know, they're playing with not pushing forward so much more. If we're going to go distance, they're playing more with maybe maxing wider ranges of misses. So if there is a big demographic of golfers who will miss hit out the heel, they'll make a driver that performs better out the heel. See where I'm going? That's where they get the statements that they get on their website. It does say, and it's not just TaylorMade that do this, Callaway do it. They all kind of do it within reason. The M1, this is reading from the TaylorMade website. Our longest driver, the M1 was multi-material construction, features ultra thin, ultra light, stone carbon composite crown, unlocks breakthrough in distance, playability, feel for all golfers. That's a pure marketing sentence. But hey, these companies are here to sell clubs. That's their goal, isn't it? That's what they're trying to do. Here we go. Here's another question from Woody. Is saying, Mark, is it true the M1 will cost $429? No club is worth that much. I think the recommended retail will be $429. Recommended retail that's published in magazines and things like that. Speak about the price also, Chrissy Boy on the chat on the actual feed on YouTube. The price $429, it won't sell at $429. That'll be recommended retail, which is what magazines put. I don't see any retailer. When I used to retail, no one retails at recommended retail. There's a cost price. Retailer will try and make a bit of money, and they'll get that price as low as they can within reasons, because there's no price fixing allowed in the UK. So the retailer can sell at anything, apart from they're not allowed to go under cost, basically, are the rules. So I don't think it'll sell at $429 for very long. If it does, maybe pre-order as well for the people who are oversighted about trying to get it. Here's another question on Twitter. Isn't the new driver a copy of the Mizuno driver with the sliding weight back and forth? You could argue that, yes. They're all moving weights now, aren't they? From Mizuno to Cobra to Callaway and they do it in, it's like I've said it before in other videos, it's like a competition of who can move the weight in the funkiest way, and then build a marketing campaign around it a little bit. But you could argue Mizuno have gone heel and toe, front and back, absolutely. And when I spoke with Chris a while back, who was on my Mizuno feed last night, he's a club designer for Mizuno, we talked about the stability issue of these weights back and forward, and I was sure, and he kind of confirmed that putting it back here is the best place for stability, not here, which is why I think our M1 is going that way. Still prefer my G30, Mark, coming from Toddy. Good driver, G30. If you want the weight low and back, that's a good one to try, along maybe with M1 when it comes out. Okay, well, Mark, when will you actually have one for testing? Tony is asking. Not sure, maybe next week. I do think it's a shame. So TaylorMade had the launch. I couldn't go because I had family commitments, and usually for a launch I will get a club, because the companies, even though I will always keep my reviews as honest as I can, they lots of them are embracing that now. They didn't want to at the start. They all wanted to stop me and shut me up. But now they've realised maybe that you guys want honesty and not the rubbish that those magazines have been posting and still do for years and years, giving it gold, extra gold and platinum gold awards. But I should get one next year. I usually get one even if I don't go to the launch. I don't go to many launches because they're just media. They're embarrassing usually. It's media kind of booze ups. It's like jollies. I find it all a bit painful. But they didn't have any examples. They were all at the launch and they didn't want to leak because they were trying not to leak the product. So I do think it's a shame that I haven't had one as well. But they are going to get me one for next week, hopefully. What have we got here? We've got, Mark, I've heard that you can add additional weights to the M1. Yeah, well, you can add additional weights I've just had a text actually from someone who say we'll get you one next week. Smiley face. So I might be getting one next week, hopefully. So we've just additional weights. Yeah, I've heard lots of stories on those forums. And they're great websites, and I love forums. But there's some forums that there are people in there that maybe are slightly too excited about golf equipment and what it can and can't do. I've heard loads of stories of people just buying weights, and I don't know where they get them from, but I'm sure there's places on eBay often, and adding and taking away. So yeah, because you can unscrew this completely. I don't know, I've never tried getting one out, but I think you can kind of slide one in. I think I've taken one out once in an older model accidentally, just kept unscrewing it talking to someone, and then I fell out. So yes, you can add weights, but why you would ever want to do that apart from being very keen, I don't know. Okay, we got another one here. Question: is the carbon on top just for looks, or does it make the lighter also? Make it lighter also. It's there to allow them to move the weight in different places, give them different options of moving this track in here, as I understand it. I think it does no harm for the looks. I think it's also there as well because, you know, you got to remember, guys, SLDR, R15, they're very good drivers. They're CG low forward, which doesn't appeal to everyone. And I've played with amateurs who use them because people like me say they're very good drivers, so they buy one. But they're not good for them always, because I've done videos and talked to people about low spin and how it can be good and bad subject to where you hit the ball in the face. I think having the option of it going back and forwards is the odds, but the having it lighter or doing the carbon bit for it lighter and looks, I think it's much more for them to allow them to move the weight around and give you, like I say, rather than just have that low forward driver, they're giving you kind of both, really, aren't they? Is where they're kind of going with it. Let's go and have a question here. Okay, here we go. Here's a good question, and this is a common question actually. And we will take our special guest in a second. Having all those ADGs, adjustables, can be confusing. Yeah, I agree. The best way to get these drivers, peoples, is not for you to do them. It is for get fitted with them, go and see a pro with them, go and go and get it fit properly, rather than you tinker. I teach people who tinker and think they're doing things, and they're doing things that are making no real difference to anyone, really. Definitely, yeah. Don't you adjust it. Go and get fit with it and keep it there. Right, we're doing our live guest. Let's see if our live guest is there. Callaway has carbon fibre crown that's been painted. Jose. Oh, we have a special.
Merry Christmas, Crossfield.
We have a very.
I have a new driver for you, dear boy. It's the Callaway by TaylorMade.
Oh, we have a very special guest. So for everyone who's out there worried that maybe shaft flex doesn't make the difference that you thought it does, next to none, or that you're not going to hit your driver any further every year, for all those people, I just want to introduce you. This is a special moment for me. Hello, Father Christmas. You are real.
I am real. For anyone who doesn't believe in me, I am real. I'm on the phone to you.
So,
oh.
So when TaylorMade tell me that their driver is the longest and it will be further, it is real. It is real because Father Christmas is real.
Father Christmas is real. He will be delivering presents this year, as always. Ben Davis on the chat, Merry My Christmas.
Everyone else, who is it? Buzzer. Ho my buzzer, Jeremy Perkins. Man my buzzer. Buzz my man. Buzz the leg. What? They all think it's Buzzer. It's Father bloody Christmas. That's who it is.
Father my Christmas.
I have a question here which I'll answer with Father Christmas. I'm currently gaming the R11. Would I see a benefit from the M1? What do you think, Father Christmas, from R11 to M1? Well, I know your hours have probably been busy making M1. I don't know if you've actually seen any of the benefits of it yet. Shall I answer, or have you seen the benefits of your new Christmas toy?
It's just got a few more adjustabilities back backwards and forwards, so CG moves back and lower makes it more stable, doesn't it? And that's about it, really.
Yeah, that is the main thing, really, that you're getting. I've been saying you're getting really an R11, an R15, and an M1. You're getting it all in one, really. So would you find if? I mean, it does look stunningly different, and like all TaylorMade drivers look, Father Christmas, you do make them look very good, don't you? I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, I think the elves who paint them. I mean, so you might find a difference.
Select very impressive CV'd elves to produce my stuff for Christmas.
Do you?
Yeah.
Simon Hudd on the chat says Coach Lockie always spends Christmas morning stuffing stockings. Santa Magic, Andrew Wolfsfield. Oh yes, will M1 cure Blockie's block? So that's a question, Father Christmas. I mean, I don't know why they're asking about Blocky. This is Father Christmas. Will it cure? Anyway, let's go back to the R11 question, to the M1. I'm not sure you'll see much of a difference. It'll be much more of a case of going and demoing. And to be honest with you, I think TaylorMade would say the same. Obviously, they would want you to buy their new product, but the fact that he's using R11, they're going to be happy with, and they're going to stand behind that product still as it is. But maybe go and try one for the looks. The looks might make a difference in how you feel.
I personally would have the M1 over the R11. I just think it looks better. I don't like the all whiteness of everything. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
And it gets dirty. So,
and you're a little bit anal, aren't you, Father Christmas?
Yeah. My elves wouldn't appreciate dirt after all the effort they put in making these things.
So Woody is asking, this is a great question from Woody, and I do want to ask you about a picture that Garcia posted, remind me if I forget, in the excitement of talking to you, Father Christmas. Does Santa eat prawn cocktail crisps? Woody is asking.
Ho, ho, ho. he does, with some milk and some carrots.
Lovely. Okay, here's another great question, actually. Billy Bone 5. That's a good name, isn't it? Billy Bone 5 says, I am a 23 handicapper currently looking for a driver. Would this be forgiving enough? Now, I have an interesting little bit of factuals about forgiving. And I think the word
forgiving people think left and right, don't they?
Yeah, and it's a little bit left and right, but it's much more short and long off those off-centre hits. But the other thing as well, if you read the history of the USGA RNA bringing in the limitations on MOI. So think of MOI, so twist around an axis. So think about that as forgiveness almost in a couple of planes it works. They set the MOI at a limit and went to the companies and said, right, this is what we want the MOI limit to be. I can't remember the measurement, but let's call it like 4,000, right? The companies all went back to the governing bodies and said, look, we've got hundreds of drivers, maybe hundreds of thousands of drivers out there with MOI higher than that. Can we do anything to make sure these people aren't buying clubs that are only 8 months old and they're going to have to buy new ones, because that's not going to make them very happy. So the governing bodies went off and tested MOI to the limits that the companies had out, which let's call that 6,000. My numbers aren't exact, but it's kind of that measurement. And they came back and said, yeah, you can stop at 6,000, but don't go any higher, because it actually makes no difference between the 4,000 and the 6,000 when it comes to players' actual performance. So we all talk about this forgiveness, and it's a marketing term, but actually in reality, I think the difference between, and I've had this chat with TaylorMade actually, I wanted to do a video on it, and we just never got around to doing it using their R&D tech. The CG low forward to the CG low back in left and right forgiveness, I think, was very minimal. It was much more balls dropping out the air through strike and really low spins. So I think M1 is definitely one you could try, and you would probably end up with the CG low and back. That isn't going to get you off 23 handicap. It's going to make you have a nice driver, and it might make you feel a bit more confident. But get some lessons along with your driver, I would say. Wouldn't you say that, Santa?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I always think that a fit and a lesson in the same thing is always handy.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and sends the customers away home a bit more happy, and that's what I do, make people happy, you see.
That's what... So I've got another. I'm just going to throw this picture up, and I don't think Santa can see it because I'm not sure he gets Wi-Fi in the North Pole yet.
Yeah, we are getting close.
Yeah, they're getting close, but there's not yet.
Yeah.
There's Garcia posted a picture of his M1 driver today. I'm sure he was contracted to as much as he wanted to, but you know.
Back.
Yeah, wait back. Yeah, so he's had R15 for years, so he's now got.
I sent that to him. You see, that's what I know.
So do you reckon he had R15 just wishing he had a G30 in his bag? Oh, can't they paint a white G30? I want the CG back.
God, I wish it had turbulators on it so I could have more face to him when I sky it. And it's all windy.
Okay, let's go. Does Father Lockie know his missus? Why has Why has Santa got a West Country accent?
I change wherever I travel to, you see. It makes people more homely when I deliver their presents.
Say that again. I was just reading the comments.
I change accents whenever I go somewhere new, you see.
Yeah.
People happy again.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was what, yeah, absolutely. So David Whitehead said, is M1 make or break for TM? Oh, that's an interesting question, David. I don't know their business model or where they are, but I don't think it is. I'm sure they're happy and doing what they need to do. I don't think it'll be break because it's actually got a good driver already in it. It's just arguably got another one if you want it. So I can't see how it would ever break. It's already got a good driver in it. My word, this new driver is expensive. $499. £429, Santa. What do you think of the cost? Now that's recommended retail, and they're probably reading that on magazine sites, and magazine sites post recommended retail because that's, I don't know why they do that. Oh, Steve Buzzer's just posted
$499 is cheaper than ours over here at $4.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, $429, but that won't sell at $429, will it? That'll go out at what, $379. Not saying that's any much cheaper, but it is cheaper.
That's still a joke, isn't it?
It's a lot of money.
Buy a golf club at that price.
Yeah, it is.
That would put me, if I had going back to that question about an R11 or an M1, I'd stick with your R11.
Yeah, well, I would agree with that. I agree.
380 quid.
Yeah, but I mean, you read the comments and you read the forums. There are people out there who are happily buying new games, and you know they're yes.
Imagine buying that, stand on the first and skying it on that white dirt paint. Gutted. How gutted would you be?
Oh, you wouldn't mind that, because obviously you could get your elves to repaint it.
Well, yeah, they do have the tech, but it'd be a bit of a pain, like getting it back from you, back to the Antarctic, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
North Pole.
Good old Vix, who comments a lot, says next January sale it'll be £200.
That one that I skied the other day will be on eBay for 200 quid in a few days. Don't worry.
Absolutely. There we go. Hello, Sand Tars, Alan.
Yeah, great to speak to such an internet sensation. I know that I am bigger than you in the world, but it is always nice. Yeah,
I'm not sure how big you are on Twitter though. Is there?
I'll search myself just to double check, but I think I'm well into the hundreds of thousands, maybe millions.
Yeah, well, but are they real followers and engaged, Matthew? That's the question. Santa. God, that was a little slip there. God, I don't know. I just because I've got to phone Matt Lockie after this live stream just to check in.
He's bigger than you, isn't he? I heard.
Matt, no, he's tiny. You've not seen the size of his legs. They're like two little sticks. He's like orange on a toothpick, isn't he? Two toothpicks.
Oh dear. I heard that Matt will be revealing his new wheels tomorrow as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. He got a
present from me on Monday or Tuesday, actually.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the new mode of transport. Carl Moore, M2 coming soon. Wow, Xmas.
M2, what do you reckon reckon the M2 will be? They'll swap the carbon to white or something, will they?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, but, you know, let's... SLDR 149 direct golf guy. I mean, that's a good that's a good buy, isn't it?
Such a good buy.
Because that's a good driver. Anyone who's perving over the new one, 149 for an SLDR, yes, please.
That's good. Yeah.
And if you don't want that, just get the jet speed, which is basically, this is kind of a jet speed, I guess, isn't it?
That was where old longboard originated from, with that bad boy.
Yeah, the shaft is a bit long on that one, actually.
Yeah.
Santa, can you ask Lockie for beard tips, please, Mark? So he's asking me to ask Lockie, but Lockie's not here. But I'll ask Santa and he can ask. So I've got a good question here, actually, from Guitar King D. I'm a free handicapper and struggle with my driver. I have a Titleist 913 9.5 D Flex, D2X Flex. Would the M1 help me at all? I mean,
Three.
He's off 3.
I would be thinking more about strike and what your delivery is if you struggle. You're obviously a good golfer.
I love it. I absolutely love it, Santa. Can I tell you what I love, Santa?
Yeah, go for it.
I love hot chocolate on Christmas Eve. That's one thing I love. But what I love when golfers come for lessons and they talk to me about, I've tried this driver and I tried that one, and I'm, you know, do you think this one will work for me? And I do that, and then I measure them and I give them 1/4 to hit a draw or the fade or whatever shot they went, and they hit it with the driver they walked in with. And you just think, look, I've just changed your delivery there by 8 degrees. What driver is going to change your delivery by 8 degrees? Come on, peoples.
Yeah.
How can an M1 stop a free handicapper struggling with a driver? Guitar King G, apart from a confident boost, Titleist 913 is a good driver. I mean, you put on M1 the weight back, you've got a 913 in white almost. You know, come on, get a lesson, Captain. I bet he's got high hands, can't control face to puff. That's why you're struggling, not the driver, not the driver.
Even though I'm Santa, I still help people out with their golf as well.
Do you?
And, I've got a great one to show you tonight. I'll post it.
Okay.
It is amazing. Like, literally unbelievable change. You'll go, wow, that is amazing.
It's funny you should say that, actually. If we're trading changes...
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to find this one now because I've put myself on the spot. But I'll trade you. I'll see your change, Santa, and trade you mine.
Okay. How big is your change?
My change. Here we go. I'm going to find it. I've got it here. I've got it. It's going to be on a live lesson coming soon as well, so people can see the change. He came with a driver, which was get on club rather than ball would help. 12 across with a face 16 open to a par.
Yeah.
So he was slicing that good proper.
Yeah.
Basically didn't game his driver. I got him to... where did I get him? I got him on the first batch of shots with his driver after, I gave him 2 sentences, 1 sentence. 3 across, 0 face to par. So hitting little gentle pulls, but hitting target.
Yeah.
And then I got him to 0 par face, 1 close to par.
Yeah.
With the driver. I was very impressed with that. And I didn't tell him to change path at all.
Alright, what about this one?
But thanks
how good we are.
Thanks for calling, Santa. I think your time's up now. Go on, what have you got for me?
Alright, so Lie averaging minus 11.6.
Wow.
7 iron.
Wow. So that's basically what Santa is saying there with an iron. I've only got a wood here. Lie, that's toe down 11 degrees.
That's average. He had one at 14 down.
Yeah, was that a misread? Did he hit the ground? Was that a real one?
It went 10 down, 12 down, 9, 10, 14, 12, 11.
Yeah, so pretty consistent.
And then his face went from 7 open to 4 closed.
Right.
So that's like, what's that, 11 degrees difference on that as well. So it was varying by 11 degrees. And I got his lie to 0.4 down.
Yeah.
So dead flat. And
wow.
his face was One closed to his path on average, path 2 from the inside.
Yeah, fantastic. So did you give him a face feeling or a handle feeling or both?
All I said, this is literally all I said baseball swinger.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but you got to remember, Santa Claus, that TV and the world of the internet thinks that teaching with launch monitors and monitoring people is really complicated, and they get really complicated lessons, really technical, over technical.
Yeah.
I have never taught so untechnically in all my life using tech. It's one of the biggest misconceptions. Anyway, let's just go.
Yeah.
We're going to have one more question tonight to finish the M1 Santa live feed. TaylorMade did not retweet my tweet about this because I think they were a bit worried about what I might say, because obviously they had no say in this video. It was so funny. Oh, it really was sad, to be honest. Anyway, here we go. Daniel says, does M1 have a KFC or a Burger King? That is the best question ever for anyone in America. The M1 is a major motorway in the UK which goes north. So Daniel Eason, I think that on that note, I think that's the best way to finish this live little feed, because that is one of my favourites I think I've ever seen. So what does it have, a KFC or a Burger King, Santa? Do you know?
What did you say?
Does the M1 have a Burger King or a KFC?
Probably both, doesn't it?
I don't know, yeah. Probably both, Daniel, coming from Santa himself. Well, thank you, Santa, for your time this evening.
Thank you.
I've been a good boy this year.
Yeah.
I do like my presents, so keep me on the good list.
Okay.
There you go. I will keep my reviews honest, though, so I don't know if I'll stay on the good list with everyone, but I will, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Keep being honest, Mark. Don't get sucked in by other manufacturers.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job so far with what you've done. I appreciate all your work, as everyone else. Merry Christmas.
Say I'm brilliant.
And I will speak to you soon. Ho, ho, ho.
Thank you, Coach Santa. See you later. Bye. There we go, people. That is a live scoop on YouTube. AGG Live M1 Driver. Hopefully we've answered some serious questions and some fun ones. The M1 has a KFC and a Burger King. KFC Burger King Composite. Golf Guy 076 on the track. Review my honesty, Ben Davis. That is very funny. Can I book a lesson, Matt? Very hard to book a lesson with me, Matt, I'm afraid. At the moment, my diary isn't really very open. Bye, Santa. Stop watching the Dan. Don't know what that means. Night, Golf Guru. Night, Vicky. Thanks for your comments, as always. There we go. M1. I will be reviewing it soon. Go and watch other people's reviews. There's plenty online. Go and make your own opinions. Definitely give it a go when it comes into your shops if you're interested. If you're not interested, then stick with your driver you've got. It does not matter. But just have fun while playing your golf. Thank you for watching. More live streams coming. I'm loving doing them. I'm loving the interaction. Thank you all for watching. It's a shame I haven't got an M1 to show you all numbers, but that will come. But there's an R15, which is kind of an M1, and then if I got another driver with a CG way back, that would be an M1. It's kind of where we are. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.